Springs, February 18th, 2025 at 6:05 p.m. this evening. Present tonight, I have Councilwoman Barton, Councilman McComber, Councilman Wilden, Councilman Carn, and Councilman Wadman. So we do have a quorum this evening. I've asked Councilman Wadman to lead us in our invocation and Councilman Wilden to lead us in our pledge.
Our Father in heaven, we are truly grateful to be here at this time, in this place, in this beautiful city, and under the protection that this government, that this country gives us. We are truly grateful for those people that service this city and keep everything in motion. We are truly grateful for those that serve and protect, both in public safety and in public works. We are grateful for those that dedicate their time on our behalf. And we ask that you please be with us this evening, that we can be civil and that we can take those items that are in front of us and counsel with each other on their proposals. We are truly grateful for the blessings that thou hast given us, and we say these things in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, public input. Time has been set aside for the public to express items not listed on the agenda. Please be respectful in your comments. Please avoid repetitive comments. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Total time set aside for public input is 15 minutes. If you're here for public input, please come up to the podium and state your name and address for the record. Is anybody here for public input? Seeing none, I will close the public input portion. Are there any reports from the council? Okay, seeing none. Mark, anything from administration?
Nope, other than just the items that are on the agenda tonight.
What was that?
Nothing other than the items that are on the agenda tonight.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we'll close that. I will entertain a motion on the consent items.
The float. Yes, sorry. Number 4
Our
reports.
float, I did skip that. My apologies.
Ann thought she was getting off.
Ann's like, yes, it's done.
And we're thinking they got off our easy.
Yeah, Anne doesn't have to do it this time. Let's see. We should be. Is it advancing? It was in the packet. Nikki put it in there. While they're bringing that up, just to give you a little history, every 3 years we redesign our city float. And this float, we see it at the Saratoga Splash Days Parade, and then it's usually in 4 other parades around our surrounding communities. And our royalty, our Miss Saratoga Springs, her 2 attendants, and our Little Miss and Junior Miss Saratoga represent our city in these parades. So we redesign every 3 years, and in between we refurbish. And it's time to.
When the animals fall off the boat.
Yes. When they can no longer survive. There you go. So this is the design that we've been working with Modern Display on for this year. And there we go. This is giving a nod to the new beach that is opening this summer. So we've got a little family of local wildlife. We rotate the wildlife every few years. And showing them playing on our new beach. You can see the city bird there as our floaty, and the city colors highlighted in the colors there. The city logo will be on the stand-up paddleboard, and things like we can. Do you guys have a preference? Coming and going.
Coming and going. Mm-hmm. A lot of people see the backside of it.
Yeah. One thing that it's also highlighting is our shoreline. We have over 13 miles of shoreline in Saratoga Springs for the lake and the Jordan River, and we're part of the eventual 98-mile Utah Lake Shoreline Trail. So really proud of that. We have a lot of shoreline that you don't get other places.
Talking about Saratoga Springs, you know, like the little person with the microphone. That's a
We'll
good
highlight
spot,
that.
13 miles of shoreline.
Yeah, so we have a lot of really unique topography and recreational options right here in our hometown. So we want to highlight that and invite people to come and play in Saratoga.
Or is that soda?
That's Diet Coke and Dr. Pepper, or Pepsi. It's all Pepsi products.
Or what?
Those will be to be determined, so maybe a swig and a fizz and a quench it or twisted sugar.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Iceberg.
Talk to the local businesses and see if they'll sponsor.
See who wants to be in the.
Yeah. Why don't you share with them how much you've liked it so far?
Oh, yeah, we've already secured over $20,000 in sponsorships for our events this summer, and a lot of new businesses that we haven't had participate in the past, so
That's
Is
fantastic.
that actual cash or in kind?
that's just the cash. There's also quite a few in-kind donations. Yeah,
Like the food that we get for the booth.
yeah, and the storage unit use from town storage and things like that.
That's great.
So we welcome any input on this. We also are planning to use it as a photo op at the grand opening of the beach. We'll have a party after Splash Days, so people can climb up here and get their picture taken on the float with our royalty. So little memento.
That comes off.
Yeah, the umbrella will come off for travel and then it's hard to tell, like this 2D rendering of it, but it will be more in the back, so it's not blocking the royalty. But do you have any questions or suggestions?
Councilman Wadman?
So looks great. In this, I don't know if this is outside this conversation, but you know how we gave things away, we threw things to kids, and I still like that, the candy. Could we do like a little theme, like a shovel, or is that part of?
Yes, we were planning on frisbees and beach balls that are branded with the logo, but we could
Nice,
also
okay.
do some
Would that have the North Shore or something? Okay.
sand toys and things like
Very
that.
cool, okay. Okay, nice.
Yes,
I just appreciate you repping the city's brand, on, you know, like I said, both sides of that board coming and going.
thank you. I have no artistic ability. This is not my drawing, I'll just
It's
tell you
hard
that.
to tell from the bird doesn't necessarily look like a bird.
I know, it's hard to make a sandhill crane or blue heron like warm and fuzzy, so I'm trying to make him fun and cartoony, but we'll have him,
Into a
yeah.
blue flamingo.
Instead of a flamingo, we have our bird on the floaty. So he will be fine tuned. We'll make him look. Yeah.
That's funny, I didn't even notice that. All I can think of is that people come out here to shoot bunnies, and that makes me a little sad. But that's.
These are happy living bunnies, yes.
They're totally shooting bunnies, right?
Yep.
So maybe it can be,
Audrey, there is a difference between a bunny and a hare.
well, that's true too.
My wife, who has pet bunnies, has told me that.
These are safe, happy bunnies, yes. These are protected.
If you don't want to celebrate the beaches in the north marina that's this year, we could also flip it and you can do a cemetery theme float. But that might be a little bit more,
Well, the dead bunnies.
Can we have a dead Like a shot.
So many options.
How about a TSSD mainland, closed down the road for 2 years float?
Sewer connection, yeah.
Well, if you're gonna do that, could we do this with a road in front of it and say thanks to Lehigh?
So, or the middle finger. So the Saratoga Shores Springs a shore theme, that's just like hand drawn just to show.
That's just a stand-in. It'll be.
Very block letters, so
Yeah.
you can see from a good 100 yards away.
Yep, and we can put a logo on the back. We're probably going to put something to the effect of Saratoga Springs Beach 2025, something worded nicely on the back too. So that's their last image, the city logo, and then something else about the beach to let them know it's open, so.
Yeah.
Great.
Any other questions?
I think just one other thought I had is whether it's something that hands out or we put it on the back when it's, because it's on the freeway or when it's driving to the other cities and different things. I love a QR code that even maybe gives a map to where our beaches are going to be,
Oh, yeah.
so that it like gives them a pin on, what I mean, they can see it, or it takes them to the city website that has, maybe we can highlight the beach there, because then it sort of connects the whole thing.
Yeah, we could do that on the back. A lot of times Modern Display will have their logo on some of their big floats, so I know we could have them put a QR code right to our
And then
Right
it
to our
tells them exactly where to go.
parks and trails,
then it's-
yeah.
Yeah, and then it's showing recreation. And then, Mark, should we like look at, a small contribution to this from RAP? Okay. Because I wouldn't mind having this as, help funded by RAP. That's going down, a lot of people are going to see that, so.
Can I just have like a 2-second, like, with the whole thing with modern display, so do they create it, and can you give like, hey, we hate that part, can you fix that part, can you do that kind of stuff? Like,
You
is
can
there
do
a
whatever
lot
you
of like conversation and stuff?
Yeah, I sat down with him and we talked about.
Colors and like
Yeah, what
sand
we've-
look and stuff?
What we've done recently, what we'd like to highlight, how we want our city represented, and he will adjust.
Oh, great.
Or his team of artists will adjust whatever we want, so
Love that.
I would get rid of the wine bottles.
we'll adjust what's in the cooler.
Soda, maybe like a bag of chips, looks like a
Like a,
generic.
more of a picnic than a
Just
rave.
More like a picnic than
Sounds good.
who's that?
Yeah. Very,
We're partying.
very it's, we're a lot of fun here. It's
I like the castles, that's fun.
That's cute.
perfect. Okay.
And then there'll be holders for the royalty, right?
Yeah, they're not pictured here, but we have posts for the girls to hold on
There's
to.
5
And
people
they
that-
step down like the,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Our
Okay,
royalty
yeah.
over the top.
and then we'll keep it.
Yeah, so they'll be the tallest point. We, except for the Splash Days Parade, we rarely have all 5 at the same time. It's usually 4.
Yeah.
There's always somebody missing, but there will be space for 5 to stand.
As long as the sandcastles don't say starting in the low 700,000s.
Oh, can we please put that?
Hey, if I get it, if
Another sponsor.
from one of the developers, I'll put that.
So,
That looks like it's worth about that.
no, it's great. Thank
The
you.
house- the
Thank you.
sandcastles.
If you think of anything else, shoot me an email and we can work on other details. Thank you.
Don't we have somebody who is big into orthodontia in our city, who does a lot with the city right now? We could put a braces on one, he can donate.
Oh, that'd be cute.
They are actually our gold sponsor, our title sponsor. They have made a large donation for
It'd be-
Splash
it would-
Days. We
it
could
would
put
be
some
sort of-
braces on one of the
it'd be Sort
bunnies.
of cute braces on
It
one of
would
them,
be
because they all have buck
adorable.
teeth, and we have a lot of kids with braces in our city.
Yes, yeah.
Fun, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Okay, now I'll entertain a motion on the consent items.
Wait.
What?
One of the bunnies
Can you
needs a
make the
shirt.
bunny a girl, one of the bunnies a girl, they're all boys?
Oh, yeah.
They all have no shirts. It's not Little Beach and Maui.
Okay.
People know that.
I'll entertain a motion on consent.
I'll move that we approve the consent items as listed on the city agenda.
I have a first from Councilman Wilden, second from Councilman McComber. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mark, I just have a question on consent. So on item 3, the agricultural protection area for the Viviano development, it's been under construction. Why does the agriculture come off way after?
So technically, it's,
Is that a tax strategy?
I don't know that it's a tax strategy so much. I do know that by the time they actually have structures that would be appraised with economic value, that would be in next fiscal year or next calendar year. So they don't, we could certainly ask the question.
I just always thought we had to take it out of ag to start building.
Well, this next item, which includes a Beacon Point plat coming out as well. So I don't know what the exact timing is, and I don't know, but we can certainly dig into it if we need to.
Do you have a comment, Kevin, or?
Yeah, I just was going to say, under the state law that basically protects against nuisance claims for someone who's continuing to operate that agricultural operation, that's the primary purpose of that law. It doesn't have anything to do with greenbelt status.
Okay.
Technically, they could still build on it. The state law just says if the property owner requests removal from that, the city
Ag
council
protection.
legislative body shall remove that.
Okay.
And it's, at this point, it's not needed, of course, because it's normal residential development.
I just thought in the past, we'd always done it as construction permits started for the
We can-
horizontal.
We can certainly look towards that in the future, but as far as where they're at in their construction phase now, I don't think it would have added any value
Okay.
for this year. They would have been appraised as of whatever the construction value was as of January 1st this year. So at that point, I think they hadn't gone vertical with anything anyway.
And it doesn't have anything to do with it's not tied to the assessment, what you're thinking of as the Farmland Assessment Act, the two are completely different. It doesn't have anything to do with the value of the property at all.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. I will move on to business item 1, bid award for the library contract.
This is just a request for a resolution for the RFID equipment to go into the new library facility. It puts in the automated material returns units, the self-checkout machines, and all of those equipment pieces that we will need to have in place for that facility. Takes about 8 to 9 months for most of those pieces to manufacture, so we have permission to move forward with the contract. Yep. Hopefully, we can get those orders placed. We'll be ready to move in.
Okay, any questions, Michael?
No, I'm just,
Oh, okay, then I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we award the bid for the library contract with Biblioteca for the new facility equipment, Resolution R25-11 dated today.
I have a first from Councilwoman McComber,
Second.
second from Councilwoman Barton. Any further discussion?
Just real quickly, this was already pre-budgeted, so this isn't a new, like, we were aware of this coming, I just want that on the record.
Perfect. Okay, Barton,
Aye.
Wadman.
Aye.
Wilden.
Aye.
McComber.
Aye.
Harn.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Self-checkout, oh, that's gonna be nice.
Yes.
Just as another informational thing, I got a PAF, or not a PAF, but a work order on my desk for us to start buying the new collection as well. So that will also, that process will also be beginning here as well. So over the next several months, we'll be selecting and picking out the collection, and Melissa's got lots of work to do for filling that new library.
That's great. Okay. Saratoga Springs Commercial Plat G.
Sorry, real quick, it's a lot different than when we were in your basement.
Yeah.
Putting plastic around books. So we literally put plastic around hundreds of books, remember that? Barcodes, oh.
Good evening, Council and Mayor and Council. We do have the applicant here if they want to bring us up here. We have Richard Mendenhall and Thomas Lenhart with WPI, who are the applicants. Saratoga Springs Commercial Plat G is west of Tractor Supply and the DABC, the liquor store. Kayla, that's not working. I don't know if it's because this is. No, it's because this is off. Yeah. That's why. Okay, there we go. There we go. As you remember, last year, they came in for a rezone for regional commercial and multifamily 14, MF 14. The site will include that multifamily site at 14 acres. At this time, they'll have to come in with a site plan or however they're planning on putting homes in there. The whole property is 43 acres, and there are going to be 16 lots on it. There will be two big lots, which is something for like a big box store just directly west of Tractor Supply and the liquor store, and then there will be regional commercial lots varying in size
Along the roadway.
along Crossroads. And then down over on the east side along Exchange, south of the liquor store, you have another lot, and then, or you have two lots actually. You kind of have a flag lot there. Lot 715, as noted in the staff report, is slated for a public utility. Now, that could be a private utility for public use. And our code, the code in 1905, the supplementary code, does outline that it doesn't have, those lots don't have to conform to the zone because they are for a public utility. And so that's the intent of that lot. If in the future, and that's why we put it as a condition of the staff report, in the staff report, is that in the future, if they do not sell that to a private utility for public, to put a public utility on it, then they can't do anything with it. They can't put a swig shop, or they can't put some small little business. It has to conform to the regional commercial zone. So in the future, if that doesn't, they can go back and do a plat amendment to make that lot larger or to make it all one big lot as it was originally submitted. So just to give you some background on that. The landscaping, the majority of landscaping for the plat is within the detention basin and along Crossroads Boulevard. Again, each site is required to do 20% landscaping. And so you'll see that at site plan application for each one of these lots. The multifamily lot is required to do 15% landscaping, and then they also have that open space requirement. So when that site plan comes in, then you'll see that, those numbers mesh. Overall, they will have 20% landscaping for the commercial businesses and the 15% landscaping and whatever open space requirement in regards to, in connection with the number of homes that they put in there. So you just.
Those are gonna be townhomes or?
Townhomes,
condos?
the concept, I mean, they haven't submitted a concept, but what we have been discussing with the applicant is a mix of townhomes and apartments. So, again, you zoned it as MF 14, so no more than, 14 units per acre. Just to show you the landscaping of where this is at, the roundabout, with that, Planning Commission did recommend approval with a condition that staff meet with the applicant regarding the median at 400 and West. And that was in the staff report with the Planning Commission. As it is now, staff has met with the developer and has come to an agreement that I think there was just a misunderstanding of how that was going to run. And so I do have that exhibit if you want to see that interchange as far as how those medians work. Let me pull that up.
While she's pulling that up, the applicant, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I think we've made presentations previously that are pretty consistent with what we're looking at here. Staff very helpful in trying to address issues for a left southbound turn on Crossroads and a northbound turn into the subdivision, which helps alleviate some of the congestion problems that may exist. We don't have a full motion, it's a three-quarter motion, but that's adequate for the commercial purposes which we're designing for.
Okay.
So as you can see, the median and how that traffic flows, so there will be left turns, but it will be a right in and then the left turns. So there's not slated to be a light here. And with because of the proximity of Exchange and then the light at 1400 that they're going to be putting in. So in order to help with this congestion that we all know is going to happen is with this median, so.
It's creative.
Well, I'm glad we're preemptively doing something rather than like we did outside of Dalmore, took forever to get.
Yeah, this was
That's true.
the engineering department's recommendation, and Hales Engineering has studied it and come back and said this is the best way to manage this and helps alleviate congestion at the signals, right? So we produce some secondary routes for people, and as the rest of the property develops, people will find other ways, but it's very helpful until the property is fully developed.
Perfect.
With that, staff recommends any further, I can answer questions or if there's anything else.
No other questions. We've looked at this a few times. I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve business item number 2, Saratoga Springs Commercial Plat G, preliminary plat, located at Crossroads Boulevard and 1400 North with all the findings and conditions in the staff report.
I have a first from Councilwoman Barton,
Second,
second from Councilman Carn. Any further discussion on the motion?
just a question. Does this give you the ability to start on the piece of property across the street that we discussed a few weeks ago?
Yeah, this doesn't show the plat phasing, but the phasing will include the, is it 1400 North? Mm-hmm. 1400 North access, that'll be a signal, and the phasing will include the construction of the road into the roundabout, and then all of the interior road systems to the east of that. So that same signal will provide the access that's really necessary on the 1400 North side.
Okay.
Right, and yes, so we intend to proceed immediately with a plan we'll bring forward for site plan and plating on that side.
We'll have a different preliminary plat.
Yeah, there will need to be a rezone
Yeah.
done on that property,
Right.
so you'll see
Talked
that.
about that briefly.
Yeah, so we'll be back to you shortly with proposals there to guide a reason.
And my only other comment on this is, this MF 14 is not new density. We shifted density on this piece of property.
Correct.
from one area to another. We didn't
Change it or do
create new
anything different,
density.
or, yeah.
We just moved it, so.
And then phase one, when are you starting on that?
We will be starting in April. Well, we're going to start as soon as we have a plat recorded, and we anticipate, what do we think the plat recording date is from here?
We're hoping to get started in March.
Yeah.
When will you be able to talk about your tenants?
Oh, tenants, we will be proceeding.
It's highly rumored
There's-
what's going there,
There-
so.
There's
haste.
lots of,
Yeah, I can't explain everything from the tenant side. If we thought building plans submitted by now, at this point.
Okay.
Great.
Perfect. Okay. I have a first and a second. Do a roll call. Wilden?
Aye.
Harn?
Aye.
Comber?
Aye.
Wadman?
Aye.
Barton?
aye.
Motion passes
Good luck.
unanimously. Thank you.
Appreciate your help.
Look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, pending ordinance for citywide architectural design standards.
Sorry, just a moment. Okay. All right, thank you, Mayor and City Council. So really quick, this pending ordinance is to get something on the books so that we have something for a citywide architectural design standards. Some of the key highlights of this are we are creating a new definition for primary material. Submittal requirements are going to be updated to include 3D renderings, photorealistic color boards, an RYB hexadecimal color code, building articulation for buildings over 20,000 square feet in size. So that would be something kind of like office warehouse buildings and that type of stuff. And then we'll also be looking at multifamily additional standards. So we'll be adding additional elevation elements for the elevations that face arterial and collector roads, as well as architectural features like pop-outs and elevation let's see, pop-outs and then windows on elevations that face arterial and collectors. There will be clarifying what are the standards for office warehouse and having a separate category just for that. And then finally, we're going to add some standards in there for buildings located in master planned communities or homeowners associations. So that would be, if a home is within there, we do have some extra leeway to regulate architecture on residential properties that are in those areas. And so this would add that to our Title 19. And so that's kind of a summary of all that. That's all I have for you, unless you have any questions.
Questions? Councilman McComber?
No, I was just ready.
Oh, Councilman Wadman?
So I still think that this is the business item 3, but the submittal requirements too, where we're going to require a 3D image from now on, is that?
Yeah, we want to make that kind of a standard submittal requirement. So sometimes we get elevations that are not very
Right.
detailed, and some are very detailed, great, they provide renderings, they provide color boards. And so we just want to be more consistent where we feel like sometimes certain developers will just submit the bare minimum and
So the
sometimes.
question I have, will this show in relationship to the properties around it too? So the 3D, like the topography changes?
Oftentimes they do. I don't know. We haven't we haven't added that as a
Okay.
requirement, but usually it's just their building, and sometimes they will highlight key features around the area. So for example, if there's a river or a detention basin or something like that, they might add
I was
those.
just talking about between two properties, elevation of more.
Oh,
than-
you're talking about like the.
Yeah,
like-
just
okay.
if we're looking at 3D.
Yeah, and that is a good thing to have because we are, as the city develops, we are getting into more, less flat properties. And
Right,
so
right.
that
Okay,
I
okay.
think could be something that, and the idea behind a 3D rendering is sometimes a 2D picture just doesn't convey the
Right.
elevation and the different, and the topography and things like that, so.
Okay.
No other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve pending ordinance for citywide architectural design standards as outlined today. City initiated resolution R 25-12. I do not believe there are any findings and conditions.
Okay, I have a first from Councilman McComber,
Second.
second Councilman Wadman. Any further discussion? Wadman?
Aye.
Barton?
Aye.
McComber?
Aye.
Carn?
Aye.
Wilden?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. There was no needs for closed session, so we'll adjourn the meeting.